Good morning friends. Today we are going to start a new chapter of NET exam, simple interest. And the importance of this chapter is not only in just NET exam, it is actually an essential part of almost every competition which has maths in it. And I promise you, by the end of the class I am going to make this chapter very simple for you. Simple interest. Why do we call it simple interest? Why is it simple? Interest is complex. Interest is something which does not look good. You take money as interest, so why is it called simple? There is nothing simple in it. Why should it be simple? It is called simple because there is a reason. Because the interest once calculated need not be calculated again and again. वो एक डायलॉग है ना, एक बार जो मैंने कमिटमेंट कर दिया तो फिर मैं अपने आप की भी नहीं सुनता. So once interest is calculated, it is calculated once and for all for the entire period. So interest remains the same every year. Now, why is it the same every year? Because it is calculated on principle. That is why it is the same every year. Let us have some characters of this chapter. The first character of this chapter is principle. Principle, I will name it P. P for principle. Principle is the money which is given on interest. Second character is rate. Rate is the percentage which is calculated on the principal per year. So it is annual. Then the third character is time. Time is usually in years, but sometimes it is given in months also, or days. If the time is given in months, you convert it into years. How do you convert it into years? Divide by 12, because there are 12 months in a year. If the time is given in days, convert it into years. How do you convert it? 365, divide by 365. 1 year has 365 days. Then we have simple interest, SI. And the next character is A for amount. Amount is the money which is returned back with interest. So amount consists of two things, one is principal and the other is simple interest. So amount is equals to principal plus simple interest. Let us remember some formulas that we have been studying since our childhood. Simple interest is equals to P into R into T upon 100. Most of the cases we will not be applying this formula, we will not be using this formula. शायद इस चैप्टर में 90% जरूरत ही ना पड़े इस फॉर्मूले की. बेसिक से करेंगे हम बिल्कुल. You will not be needing any formula. Now if I want to calculate P, principal, out of this formula let us bring this 100 here and RT towards the other side. So principal is equals to SI, 100 is divided here, it will come and multiplied here, and RT is multiplied here, so it will be divided here. So SI into 100 upon RT. Suppose you have to calculate R, again SI into 100, now 100 will come here, R will remain here and PT will come here. So PT. And if you want to calculate T, again SI into 100 upon PR. So these three are, they are not new formulas, these are the extensions of this formula only. Now I have just reminded you of these formulas which you already, I suppose you already know. Even if you do not know, now you know. Let us start the chapter now. But before starting I will be giving certain names to each and every thing. Principal P, Today I will be giving a name to this person or this value. Anything that is given on interest, I will be naming it 100%. Why? Because the rate is calculated per cent, per cent, per means each, cent means 100, out of 100. So let us start with 100. If everything is out of 100, why not assume our money to be 100? So our money is 100%. So from today there is a name given to the principal 100%. Now I am giving some sum to the person as interest, on interest, that is 100%, and any interest that is calculated will be on 100%. Now what is calculated? Total interest. What is total interest? Today I will name this value total interest. Suppose I give money to Shyam at 5% rate of interest for 4 years. What does simple interest say? Simple interest says that interest is same every year. So 5% first year, 5% second year, 5% third year, 5% fourth year. Every year the interest is same. So 5% into 4 years. Can I say that I will be collecting a total of 20% interest from Shyam? 5 into 4? I can directly take 20% from Shyam? Yes, I can take. So total interest is rate into the total time. So R into T, RT. So from today total interest is RT%. आज से एक नया कैंडिडेट total interest which is RT%. Money 100%, total interest RT%. Now the money which comes back, amount, how much is the amount? 100 gone, come back with RT, so the money I receive back is 100 plus RT%. This is the money which I will get back. Now I have introduced you to 3 things. One is my principal, which is 100%, second is interest, total interest, which is RT%, and the third is the money which has come back, which is amount 100 plus RT. 100 gone, RT, interest, 100 plus RT. So you have to take interest, you have to take care of these 3 things. Total money, your money, always 100%. Total interest, RT%, of course in percentage, and total amount 100 plus RT%. Now let us start with the chapter. If you want to copy, I will give you 2 minutes. You can pause the video also and copy it down. Types of questions. The first type is to determine SI. How to determine, how to calculate simple interest, SI. Suppose I give you a question, find SI on rupees 40,000 at 12% per annum for 4 years, 3 months. So you have to calculate simple interest on rupees 40,000 at the rate of 12% per annum for the time of 4 years and 3 months. Let us calculate. It is a simple question, 0 level question. Let us calculate it by the given formula we have. We already have a formula, SI is equals to PRT upon 100. Let us start with P. P is 40,000. R is rate 12%. Time is 4 years 3 months. Now 4 years is in years, but months 3 is in months. So we convert it into years, 3 by 12, we get 1 by 4. 4 plus 1 by 4, which is 4 4s are 16, 16 plus 1, 17 upon 4. This is the way how you determine the months into years. I will repeat, 4 years was already in years, but 3 was in months, so I converted it into years, divide by 12, 3 by 12, 3 by 12 is 1 by 4. So 4 years plus 1/4 year. So 4 whole number 1 by 4 year. you can say like this, 4 whole number 1 by 4 years, right, 4 plus 1 by 4. So, we know how to calculate this, 4 4s are 16, 16 plus 1 17 upon 4. So, let us write down 17 upon 4 and divide by 100. Let us cut them, 2 0, 2 0, 4 ones are 4, 4 ones are 4 and 100, 12 into 17 is 204 and 2 zeros. So, the interest is 20,400 rupees. So, this is how the question is done. Simple question, 0 level question. This is the first level question, 0 level, where we have just calculated simple interest. Had it been the time in days and you have to calculate it in years, divide by 365. You have time in months, divide by 12, you have time in years, time in days, sorry, so divided by 365. If the time is in years, no problem, balle balle. If time is in months, divide by 12, time is in days, divide by 365, convert it into years, convert every given time into years if it is not, and you can use the formula. 0 level question. Please write down with me, maths is not heard, maths is not learned, maths is not watched. It should be done with me. Keep a pen and paper ready with you. You should do every question with me in the entire class. Now, let us move on to the second part. The first part was to determine SI. Now, the second part is SI will be given, SI will be known, SI or amount known. This will be given to you. You will be given SI, you will be given amount, and you will be asked to calculate to determine principal. You will be given SI, you will be given amount, and you will be asked to determine the principal. Suppose I say a question, find, or let us say Ram was given some money at 10% for 2 years. He paid rupees 400 as interest. Find the sum. Now, we are given two things, one is the rate 10% and the time 2 years, and we have been asked to calculate the sum of money, that is principal. Yaad karo, I will just told you to calculate the total interest. What is total interest? RT, RT%. How much is my money? 100%. How much is the money I get back with interest? 100 plus RT. These three candidates are very important in the entire chapter. My money 100%, total interest RT, and the money which comes back 100 plus RT. देखो दोस्तों, मैं बीच में इसको रोक के आपको एक बात बोलना चाहूँगा बहुत ही सिंपल शब्दों में. नेट एग्ज़ाम देने वाले ज़्यादातर स्टूडेंट्स की मैथ्स बैकग्राउंड नहीं होता और मैथ्स कमज़ोर होती. मैं आपको मैथ्स के जो चैप्टर्स हैं बिल्कुल ज़ीरो लेवल से पढ़ा रहा हूँ, बिल्कुल ज़ीरो लेवल से धीरे धीरे हम आराम से एक एक टॉपिक को करते जा रहे हैं. ये मेरा प्रॉमिस है आपको कि मेरी मैथ्स के सारे क्लासेस लेने के बाद नेट के अंदर जितने भी मैथ्स के पोर्शन आते हैं उसमें आप मजबूत हो जाओगे. आपकी मैथ्स कमज़ोर होने वाला डर मैं ख़त्म कर दूंगा. बस आप 2-3 चीज़ें मेरी ध्यान रखिए. एक, जब मेरी क्लास चल रही हो आपका पेन और पेपर रेडी हो, मेरे साथ साथ आप मैथ्स करेंगे. मैथ्स सुनेंगे नहीं, देखेंगे नहीं, करेंगे. मेरे साथ साथ हर एक क्वेश्चन को आप अपने साथ मेरे साथ कैलकुलेट करेंगे. जहां आप अटकेंगे बोर्ड पे मेरी तरफ देखेंगे और मेरे साथ साथ चलेंगे. और कंप्लीट होने के बाद चैप्टर मैं जो आपको शीट दूंगा, यू विल हैव टू फिनिश दैट शीट. वो शीट करनी है. You will be finding not only my sheet, you can do any kind of any questions after finishing it. किसी भी किताब में से you can do questions. Okay. So let us calculate first total interest. Total interest. how much is the total interest? Total interest is RT, R into T. R is 10%, T is 2 years. So 10 twos are 20%. 10%, 2 years, so 10 twos are 20%. Now total interest is 20%, RT is 20%, and this interest is given, rupees 400 is paid as total interest. So this 20% is equals to rupees 400. तो हम कुछ नहीं करेंगे, कोई फॉर्मूला नहीं, कुछ नहीं, हमें एक चीज दी हुई है 400 as interest, and we have calculated that total interest as percentage, RT percent, R is 10%, T is 2 years, 10 into 2, 20%, total interest in percentage 20, total interest in rupees 400, let us equate them. 20% is equals to 400, so 1% is equals to, बचपन से सीखा था, if 20 apples is equals to 400 rupees, how much is 1 apple? Divide 400 by 20. जब भी एक का निकालना होता है, we divide. So 400 total rupees है, divide by 20. So 1% is 400 upon 20. And now you want to calculate the principal, the sum. And how much is the sum? 100%. Principal is 100%. नाम फिक्स किए हमने. पहले इसको काटते हैं, 0 को 0 से काटा, 2 1s are 2, 2 2s are 4, 0, 20 आ गया. Now 100% is 20 into 100. एक का निकाल लिया, एक सेब 20 रुपए का, तो 100 सेब कितने के? तो 100 का निकालना, एक से ज्यादा का निकालना, you multiply. So 20 into 100, which is 2000. So the sum was rupees 2000. This is how you calculate the principal when simple interest is given. आप उतारिए, वीडियो पॉज करके भी उतार सकते हैं, मेरे साथ साथ पेन चलाइए, मेरे साथ साथ उतारिए, पीछे मत रहिए, साथ साथ पढ़ेंगे, मैं आराम से पढ़ा रहा हूं, कोई जल्दी नहीं कर रहे हम, मेरे साथ साथ पढ़ेंगे तो आप बहुत अच्छा सीख पाएंगे. Let us do one more question in this part. A was given a sum of money at 5% for 3 years. If he paid back a total of, paid back, returned back, एक ही बात होती. If he paid back a total of rupees 37,500, find the sum. Now, सबसे पहली चीज, पिछले क्वेश्चन और इस क्वेश्चन में फर्क क्या है? पिछले क्वेश्चन में the interest which was paid back was given, and in this question we are given the total amount that is paid back with interest. If we paid back a total of rupees, this means 37,500 is not interest, it is actually amount, and amount means principal plus interest. So we know what is amount, which is 100 our principal and plus total interest is RT. So 100 plus RT is our amount. Don't forget these three persons. My money 100%, total interest RT, money which came back 100 plus RT. It's very simple actually. Once you do 2, 3 questions, 5 questions, practice will make you perfect. Now 100, my money RT. How much is RT? 5 into 3, 5 3s are 15. So 100 plus 15, that means 115%, and 115% is the amount in percentage and this is the amount in rupees. So 115% is equals to 37,500. So we want to calculate the principal. So let us first calculate 1%. If 115% is equals to this much, how much is 1%? 37,500 divide by 115, divide kar diya, right? Don't worry, in the exam you will be given such figures which will definitely be divided, definitely be cut. you will be always be able to cut these figures. These will always be divided, fully cut. So 115, it's a very simple trick. 1 3s are 3, 15 3s are, okay, let us make it divisible. Let us change the figures. 3 4 5, let us make it 3 4 5. Let us make easy calculative figures, so that you do not find it difficult. So 115 3s are, 1 3s are 3, 15 3s are 45. So we have 300, right? Now 1% is equal to 300. So we want to determine the sum principal, and principal is 100%. So 300 into 100. So the answer is 30,000. So this is how you determine, this is how you calculate. Even if it would have been 75, 15 5s are 75, you can always easily calculate that also. So let us do another question. A sum of money was given at 15% for 4 years at simple rate of interest. In this chapter, from now this point on, I will not write this word simple rate of interest. I will write the short form SROI. Please make note of this abbreviation. I will be using this abbreviation in my further questions. So please make note of this particular abbreviation. I will write SROI, simple rate of interest. So a sum of money was given at 15% for 4 years at simple rate of interest. If a total of rupees 64,000 was paid back, find the sum. Mark the words, a total of 64,000 was paid back. Now what is this 64,000? Is it principal? Is it interest? Or is it amount? A total of 64,000 was paid back. That means this is the money which was paid back with interest. So this is the amount, and amount consists of principal and interest. And remember, I told you what is principal? 100%. What is interest? RT, rate into time. And what is amount? 100 plus RT. So it is actually very simple. So total amount in percentage is, total amount is 100 plus RT. And what is RT? R into T, rate into time. Rate is 15%, time is 4 years. So 15 into 4, 15 4s are 60. So 60 plus 100 comes to 100 plus 60, that is 160%. So 160% is the amount, and that amount is given as 64,000. So amount in percentage we have calculated, and amount in money has been given to us. So 160% is equals to 64,000. So 1% is equals to 64,000 divide by 160. There is a very simple thing in exams, you will mark it. You will be always given such figures which will be always divisible. The figures will always be completely divisible, they will always be cutting, they will always be cut. So it is very simple fact actually. 0 and 0 gets cut, 16 1s are 16, 16 4s are 64 and 2 zeros. So I have 400 now. So 1% is equals to 400, and I need some principal, and how much is the principal? 100%. So 400 into 100, which is 40,000. So this is how you calculate the sum of money, the principal, if you are given simple interest or amount. If you are given total interest, you calculate the RT% and then equate it with the given total interest and calculate the principal. And if you are given the amount, you calculate the amount in percentage by 100 plus RT, 100 plus RT percentage is equals to amount given in rupees, and you calculate the principal, which is always 100%. Let us move on to the third part now. Questions based on multiple. Questions based on multiple. Multiple means what? Questions based on money being a multiple, multiplying. What does that mean? Suppose I give you some money and you give me double of it after 5 years. My money becomes double after 5 years. My money becomes triple after 5 years. My money becomes 4 times after 5 years. So double, triple, 4 times, 5 times, number of times, that is called multiple. Now when I say 2 times, what does that mean? When I say double, I give you 100 rupees, you give me back 200 rupees, double. So double is 200, 2 times 200 what percent? If I give you 100 rupees, my money becomes triple, you give me 300 back, so 300%. 4 times 400%, 5 times 500, 6 times 600, 7 times 700. Now what was the principal? 100. Money becomes 200. What is the total interest? 100%. If the money becomes 3 times, 3 times means 300. What is the principal? 100. 300 minus 100. The money is 3 times. 3 times means 3 times implies 100 becomes 300. So what is the principal? 100. What is the total interest? 200. This is 300. So if the money becomes 3 times, the total interest is 200. If the money becomes 4 times, the total interest is 4 times means 400. 400 minus 100 principal. Principal is subtracted. 400 minus 100 is 300. Of course, this is all in percentage. Mind it. 300. If I say the money becomes 5 times, what does it mean? It means the total interest is 5 times is 500 minus 100 principal. So the total interest is 400. So what is total interest? Total interest is RT, that we already know. So let us now do a question. Please copy it down. If you are writing along with me, please do copy, do write down with me. Suppose I take a question, a sum of money becomes 3 times in 20 years. A sum of money becomes 3 times in 20 years. Find the simple rate of interest. SROI, simple rate of interest. So a sum of money multiplies 3 times in 20 years. You have to find out the simple rate of interest. Now what does the 3 times means? 3 times means total interest is, what is total interest? RT. 3 times means 300 minus 100 principal, remaining is 200. So total interest is 200%. So RT is 200%. Now RT is 200%. Out of R and T, I have been given T. What is T? 20 years. So R into 20 is equals to 200. So R is equals to 200 divided by 20, 0 and 0 cancels out. I get the answer 10%. This is how you easily do it without using any formula. No formula is applied. We are doing every question in the chapter by just one thing, which is RT. What is R? Rate. What is T? Time. rate into time, RT. What is RT? Total interest. What is my money? 100%. Principal is 100%. My money, I gave it to you, 100%. The interest, you gave it to me, RT. The money you returned back to me, 100 plus RT. That is amount. So this is how you do questions in this chapter. Let us move forward. This is how you calculate the money becoming multiples many times. Now let us do the fourth type. Two different multiples. Now what is this? Two different multiples. Suppose I gave some money to Ram and Ram paid me back double the money in 8 years. If the same money was given to Shyam at the same simple rate of interest, in how many years will the money becomes 5 times? Now one time the money is becoming double in one case, and I want to know how many years would be taken to make it 5 times in another case. Let us take an example. I will not change any method now. The same method is applied in every case now. RT, total interest RT, principal 100%, total amount 100 plus RT. Suppose a sum was doubled in 6 years. In how many years will it become 5 times at the same simple rate of interest? Now this is a question. First thing, the money is doubled in 6 years. What is the meaning of double? 2 times. 2 times means 200%. 200% is what? Amount. So what is RT? Total interest, amount minus principal. So 200 minus 100 is 100. So RT is equals to 100. So double means 200, 200% becomes in 6 years. So RT is, interest is 100. 100 is in 6 years, total interest in 6 years is 100. So R into 6 is equals to 100. So R is equals to 100 upon 6%. I have calculated the rate. Now at the same rate of interest, it is like this, that you are given 2 questions in one question. One question, for the given first data you have calculated rate as we have done it before. Now we will apply this rate to the second data. At the same rate of interest, in how many years will it become 5 times? So now you want the money to become 5 times. 5 times means what does 5 times means? 5 times means what is the total interest? Total interest is 400%, because 5 times means 500 and 500 minus 100 principal. So 400% total interest. That means RT is equals to 400 now, and out of this 400 we have been given R, we have calculated R. So we substitute this value of R in this formula. R is 100 upon 6 into T is equals to 400. We substitute the value of R in this formula again. So T is equals to 400. Now here 100 upon 6 will come to this side and will become 6 upon 100. 6 is divided here, it will be multiplied here, and 100 is multiplied here, will be divided here. So 20 and 20 cancels out, and 6 4s are 24. So the answer is 24 years. So in 24 years the money will become 5 times at the same simple rate of interest. So this is how you will calculate the rate or time. In one condition it is given one multiple, and the other condition another multiple is to be calculated. So we will be calculating first the rate and then substituting the value of rate in the second part. Let us move forward to the fifth type. Please do with me, please do every question with me. I am repeating it again and again. Now let us move on to fifth type. Fifth type is fractional part. What is the meaning of fraction? Fraction means, suppose I say my wife snatched away 2/3 of my salary. Yes, she snatches away. So 2/3 of my salary, 2/3 of my salary. This is actually fraction. I will explain you what is a fraction and how do you convert a fraction into percentage. It's very simple. We are dealing with percentage in the entire chapter. Rate is in percentage. We are calculating total interest as percentage. We have considered the principal as 100%. What is total interest? RT%. What is amount? 100 plus RT%. So why should we use fraction? We want only a percentage. So okay, if you give me fraction, I will convert it into percentage. My wife snatches away 2/3 of my salary. Now 2/3 is the part, fractional part of my salary. So if I want to convert it into percentage, it is very simple. 2/3 is out of 1. If you want to convert it into percentage, it should be out of 100. So multiply by 100. So whenever you want to convert a fraction into percentage, multiply by 100. That is simple. Let us do a question. Suppose the question is, the method will be the same now, or in all further questions. A sum of money fetches an interest equal to 1/5 part of the principal in 4 years. Find the simple rate of interest. Now the question says the simple interest accrued in 4 years is 1/5 part of the principal. Let us first convert this 1/5 into percentage. So 1/5 means 1/5 into 100, which is 5 2s are 10, 20%. And what is this 20%? This is your total interest. So whenever you are given a question in which you are given a fraction, that fraction is what? It is interest. This is interest. So when you are given a fraction as interest, you convert that fraction into percentage, and now you have percentage of whatever is given. What is this percentage? This is interest. So total interest is given 20%. Whether you say 1/5 or whether you say 20%, it is one and the same. Now we know what is total interest. Again the same thing. मित्रों, एक ही लकड़ी से सभी जानवरों को हाँक रहा हूँ, घोड़ा भी, बकरी भी, शेर भी. So what is 1/5? 1/5 is 20%. What is 20%? 20% is total interest. What is total interest? I know. RT. My hero is RT. So RT%. Total interest RT. RT is equals to 20. Now out of this R and T, rate and time, one thing is given to me. And what is that given? I have been given time. So I will substitute time. So R into 4 is equals to 20. So, R is equals to 20 upon 4, that means 5%. So, the rate is 5%. चुटकियों में आ गया दोस्तों, आपको कोई फॉर्मूला यूज नहीं करना पड़ा. You are not using any formula, you are not using any kind of trick, no formula, just a basic thing. What is your total interest? The simple interest defines, the definition of simple interest says that it is the same throughout. So, once calculated, it is always the same. When it is the same, why not calculate it in a lump sum? I give you 5% in rate of interest for 4 years. You will say, sir, 5 4s are 20. So, you are giving me 20% interest. So, when you are calculating total interest, it is always R into T, rate into time, and that is total interest. And what is my principal? 100%. So, what is the amount I am getting back with interest? 100 plus RT. So, this is how this question is done. Let us do another question in this type. Let us do one more question. Suppose I say a sum of money becomes 7 by 5 of itself in 4 years. Find the simple rate of interest. Now, the question says a sum of money becomes 7 by 5 of itself, becomes. When the sum of money becomes 7 by 5 of itself, becomes means हो जाना. रुपया 7 upon 5 हो जाता है. What is हो जाता है? Becomes क्या है ये? इंटरेस्ट है क्या अमाउंट है? अमाउंट विद इंटरेस्ट हो गया. 100 रुपया 200 रुपया हो गया. 100 becomes 200. That means 200 is the amount. 100 is the principal. So, 7 by 5 is the amount. And ये पहचान होती है दोस्तों, अमाउंट पहचानना है, इंटरेस्ट पहचानना, दो आदमी है, पहचान लो. इंटरेस्ट के लिए तो हमेशा बोलेगा इंटरेस्ट, इंटरेस्ट वर्ड आएगा, और अमाउंट के लिए ऑलवेज से वन वर्ड हो जाता है, बिकम्स, पेड बैक, टोटल, ऑलवेज दीज थ्री वर्ड्स. सो 7 by 5 is the fractional part. Let me change it into percentage. So, 7 by 5 into 100. Let us change it into percentage. 5 ones are 5, 5 twos are 10, 7 twos are 14. So, 140% is the amount. 140% is the amount, and this 140% amount becomes in 4 years. What is the amount? Amount is always 100 plus RT. So, 140% is the amount. इसमें से principal is 100%. 140 minus principal 100%. Principal is 100%. So, what is the total interest? Total interest 40%, and total interest is what? RT. So, RT आ गया भाई, वापस 0 आ गया. RT is equals to 40%, जिसमें से एक चीज दी हुई है, R दिया क्या T दिया? 4 years टाइम दिया हुआ है. So, R into 4 is equals to 40. So, R is equals to 40 divided by 4, that means 10%. आपका क्वेश्चन सॉल्व हो गया. इतना बड़ा क्वेश्चन, ना तो कोई फॉर्मूला, ना कोई ट्रिक, चुटकियों में ढेर. So, this is how you calculate principal when the interest or amount is given as a fractional part of the principal. Let us move forward to the next type. So, this was the 5th type, fractional part. Let us move forward to the 6th type now. Sixth type is amounts of different years given. Amounts of different time periods will be given to you. How? Suppose I say a question, a sum of money becomes $2,000 becomes means amount in 4 years and 2400 in 6 years. Find the simple rate of interest. SROI, simple rate of interest. I have told you before, I will be using this abbreviation in every question now. A sum of money becomes 2000 in 4 years and 2400 in 6 years. Find the simple rate of interest. Now first of all, we would like to know the same money after 4 years is 2000 and after 6 years the amount is 2400. That means in 2 years the money has risen by 400 rupees. So interest of 2 years is 400. So what is the interest of 1 year? 1 year interest is 400 divided by 2, which is 200. 1 year's interest is 200. Now if you want to calculate principal, you have amount of 4 years, 2000 in 4 years. When you have amount of 4 years and you have interest of 1 year, let us calculate interest of 4 years and we will subtract it from 2000 and we will get the principal. So 4 years interest, 1 year's interest is 200, so 4 year interest is 200 into 4, that is 800. 2000 में से 800 तो ब्याज है, 2000 तो पैसा लौट गया है 4 साल बाद. हर साल 200 रुपये ब्याज का मिल रहा है भाई, हर साल 200 रुपये मिल रहा है, 4 साल में 800 रुपये ब्याज इकट्ठा हो गया, 2000 वापस आ गए, मतलब उसमें से 800 तो ब्याज है. So interest is 800, so the principal is 2000 minus 800, that is 1200. That means ये जो हर साल 200 रुपये इंटरेस्ट लग रहा है, ये किस पे लग रहा है? 1200 पे. सिंपल इंटरेस्ट का फंडामेंटल ट्रूथ है, फंडामेंटल रूल है, द इंटरेस्ट इज कैलकुलेटेड ऑन प्रिंसिपल ऑलवेज, every year. That is why you can add it. That is why we are adding it every year. So simple interest is levied, calculated on principal. That is why we can add every year easily, because the same on the same principle. So 1 year's interest is 200 rupees and that 200 rupees is levied on principal. So the rate is 1200 पर 200 रुपए का ब्याज लग रहा है and you want to calculate its percentage in 200. Whenever you want to calculate percentage of any number, जिसकी परसेंटेज निकालनी होती है उसे ऊपर रखते हैं, जिसकी परसेंटेज जिसमें से निकालनी होती है उसे नीचे रखते हैं and into 100 कर देते हैं परसेंटेज निकालने के लिए. So 200 divide by 1200 into 100. So 20 cancels with 20, 2 1s are 2, 2 6s are 12 and the answer is 16 6s are 96, 4 16 whole number 2 by 3 percentage is your rate of interest. So this is how you calculate the principal and the rate when amounts of different years is given. Let us move further. You can copy it. Now we will do type number 7. Change in rate. Change in rate. Suppose I give you some money at some rate of interest and you are, suppose I give you 2000 rupees and you are returning me back 2800, and now if I ask you, if I increase, I am giving you money for 4 years suppose, and if I increase rate of interest by 2% every year, so now how much money will you give? Had it been the rate of interest been 2% more? Rate is always calculated on principal, mind it. Let us do one question. The method will not change, only the type will change. Rupees 2000 becomes 2800 in 4 years. Had the simple rate of interest been 2% more, what would be the amount? Okay. Now 2000 becomes 2800 in 4 years. Had the simple rate of interest been 2% more, what would be the amount? First of all, simple rate of interest is 2% more, means every year 2% extra will be levied. So what will be the change in the total interest? Total interest change. Change in total interest, 2% each year, again RT, R into T, 2% each year for 4 years, 2%, 2%, 2%, 2%. So 2% into 4, which is 8%. So total change in rate of interest would be 8%. So the money will be 8% more. Now on which amount, on which money will you calculate this 8%? Whether in 2000 on 2000 or 2800. This is the principal, this is the amount. Interest is always calculated on the principal. So change in total interest is 8%. So change in amount will be 8% of 2000. So 8% of 2000 is, percent means 8 upon 100, of means multiply into 2000, 0 and 0 cancels out, 8 to the 16, 160 rupees. So 160 rupees more will the person get. So the amount will be increased by 160. Previous amount was 2800. So the new amount will be 160 more. That means 2960. So this is how you calculate the new amount. Previous amount was 2800, change in amount is 8% more of 2000, 8% of 2000 is 160. So 160 more you receive. So 2800 plus 160, which is 2960. So when you are given a change in interest, when the interest rate is changed, that rate is actually calculated on the entire period, and that entire period's total interest percentage is calculated on the principal, and then it is added to the amount, previous amount. This is how you calculate the change in rate. Let us move forward. Let us do next type, 8th type. Now this type is earning of brokerage. What is brokerage? Brokerage means Ram took some money from Shyam at 10% and gave it to Hari at 12%. After 4 years, find out his total earning. Our banks also work at the same system. You deposit some money in the bank. Bank takes some money from the public. Bank will give you an interest of, let us say, from 3% to 7%, 3%, 4%, 5%, 6%, 7%. And that money is given to the businessman or to you back for housing loan, for business loan, anything else, for industry at 10%, 11%, 12%, 13%, 14% even, personal loans, very high interest. And the brokerage, the remaining, the difference in percentage is the bank's earning. So brokerage means the difference in the rate of interest. So I take money from a person at one rate and give it to another person at another rate, and I earn the difference of the percentage rate. Let us do a question. If you want, I can write one definition, one line of this type. the earning is the difference in the rate of interest. Difference in the given and earned or taken rates of interest. This is your earning. Let us do a question. Suppose A takes money from B at 10% for 4 years and gives it to C at 12% and earns rupees 96 in the transaction. Find this sum. Now, first of all, A takes money from B at 10% for 4 years and gives it to C at 12%. Money taking at 10% and giving it to another person at 12%, taking at 10, giving at 12, 2% is the difference in rate, that is his earning every year. So 2% every year, and this earning is for 4 years. One thing you should remember, he is taking money from B for 4 years and giving it to C. For how many years it is not given? So it is understood that the money is given for 4 years. So he is giving it to C at 12% for 4 years. Even if it is not said, it is understood that it is given for 4 years and earns rupees 96 in the entire transaction. Now what is his earning? His earning is actually the difference, 12 minus 10, which is 2% each year. So total interest earned is total interest 2% each year for 4 years. So 2 fours are 8%. This is his total earning, total interest, and this earning is given to you. He earns rupees 96. His earning in rupees is given 96. His earning in percentage we have calculated. So I am rubbing this. So this 8% is equal to rupees 96. 8% is equals to 96. So 1% is equals to 96 divided by 8, and you want the principal. Principal is always 100%. So 100% is 96 divided by 8 into 100, which is 8 ones are 8, 12 eights are 96. So this is 1200 rupees. So this is how you calculate the principal. When you are given the difference, when you have been given the rate which is being paid, 10% is being paid and 12% is being earned. So 10% and 12%, the difference is 2%, 2% each year. So total interest is 2 into 4 years, 8%, and this interest is given 8%, which is 96 rupees. So this is his total earning. So 8% is equals to 96. So 1% and 100%. So we will calculate 100%. So this is how you calculate the difference in interest. चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं, अगले प्रकार पे चलते हैं. Next type is when you receive the same simple interest in different cases. For example, I give some money to A, some money to B and some money to C. I give different amounts, different sum of money, different principals to A, B and C at different rates, and different time periods. Suppose to A I give money at 5% for 4 years, to B I give money at 3% for 5 years, and to C I give money at 2.5% for 2 years. And the simple interest received from all the three cases is the same. If I receive the same simple interest in each case, even though the money is different, rate is different, and time period is different, still I am getting the same simple interest from all the three. And then I ask you, considering this situation, find out the money given to A, B and C, or the ratio of the amounts given to all the three of them, the ratio of the principals. If such is a situation when you are given different principals, different rates, different time periods to some persons, different people, 2, 3, 4, and similar interest is received from all of them, and then you want to know the the principal, ratio of principal, then what you do is, you remember I just taught you RT, total interest, rate into time, RT. There are only 3 characters in this film, 3 major characters. Why major? There are only 3 characters. One is principal, 100%, one is total interest, RT, and one is third is amount, 100 plus RT. So total interest, find out total interest of each of them. Total interest, find out total interest. Suppose the first person gets money at R1% for T1 years, find out R1 T1. The second person gets money at R2% for T2 years. The third one gets money at R3% for T3 years. So total interest for first person, total interest for second person, total interest for third person. So the ratio of principals is equals to reciprocal of the total interest, 1 upon R1 T1, 1 upon R2 T2, 1 upon R3 T3. If there are 2 or 3 or 4, it does not make any difference. So 1 upon R1 T1, 1 upon R2 T2, 1 upon R3 T3. So this is the ratio of principals. Now sometimes students ask me, sir, how will I memorize this formula if I forget the formula? This is not a formula, this is not a trick. You must understand this is actually the meaning of the language. I will show you how do you determine this. I will show you that. See, he is telling us that the total interest received from all the 3 is the same. So total interest of A is equals to total interest of B is equals to total interest of C. This is what he is saying. And what is total interest? R1 T1 of A. What is A? What is R1 T1? How do you levy interest? What is interest? Interest is calculated on principal. Suppose when I say A, I mean to say the money given to A. So R1 T1 of the principal given to A, R2 T2 of the principal given to B, R1 T1 of A, R2 T2 of B, and R3 T3 of C. And when I want to know A is to B is to C, how do you calculate? When you want to know A, R1 T1 udhar chal jayega. It is multiplying here, when it comes here it gets divided 1 upon. So 1 upon R1 T1. When R2 T2 comes here, B is equals to 1 upon R2 T2. So this is a ratio, 1 upon R2 T2. And when C 1 upon R3T3. This is actually not a formula, this is actually not a trick, it is actually the meaning of the statement, it is the meaning of whatever it is saying, meaning of the sentence. So, most of the times in mathematics we fear about formulas, we fear about tricks, we do not understand that there are actually no formulas, there are actually no tricks. It is actually the basic meaning of whatever it has been said. So, this is the total interest. So, if this interest is same, let us do a question. Different sums of money were given to A and B at 5% 4 years and 4% 2.5 years respectively. You know what is the meaning of respectively? Respectively means this is for A and this is for B. If they pay similar simple interest, find the ratio of principals. If they pay similar interest, simple interest, find the ratio of principals. I will repeat the question for those who are writing actually with me. Different sums of money were given to A and B at 5% 4 years and 4% 2.5 years respectively. If they pay similar simple interest, I am writing the short form SI, find the ratio of the principals. Now, let us first calculate the total interest paid by A, then calculate the total interest paid by B and reciprocate them. Let us make their reciprocals. So, total interest paid by A is R into T, 5 4s are 20. So, ratio of principals 1 upon RT, 5 4s are 20, 1 upon R2 T2, 2.5 into 4, 10. So, 1 upon 20 is to 1 upon 10. You can always cut figures in ratio. Whenever there are figures in ratio, you can always cut them. So, 0 and 0 gets cut down and I get 1 upon 2 is to 1 upon n, then you cross multiply it. So, the answer is 1 is to 2. This is how you do it, this is how ratio of principals is calculated. Please copy it down, please do question with me. This is how you calculate the ratio of principals if same interest is being paid. Let us move forward. Next type, I do not remember the number, maybe it is 9th or 10th, just see what is the number. If similar amounts are received, if similar amounts are received, now the difference is, if the interest paid back is same in each case, 1 upon R1 T1, 1 upon R2 T2. If the amounts paid is same in each case, what will you do? Guess, and you have to find the ratio of principals. When there was same simple interest, total interest was same, total interest is RT, 1 upon RT. When it was same amount received, what is amount? 100 plus RT. So, 1 upon 100 plus R1 T1, 1 upon 100 plus R2 T2, same. So, ratio of principals is, it is the same actually. Ratio of principals is equals to 1 upon 100 plus R1 T1 is to 1 upon 100 plus R2 T2. This is how you calculate the ratio of principals. It is the same. Previously it was total interest same, now it is amount same, and amount is 100 plus RT. There are only 3 characters in my film. मेरी picture में 2 3 character हैं भाई. 100% प्रिंसिपल है, टोटल इंटरेस्ट RT है एंड द टोटल अमाउंट इज 100 प्लस RT। तो उससे आपका, आपने देखा होगा पूरा चैप्टर उन तीनों से हो गया। हमको पूरे चैप्टर में फॉर्मूला ही नहीं लगाना पड़ा, हमको कोई एक्स्ट्रा चीज नहीं करनी पड़ी। फालतू में मैथ्स को मुश्किल बना रखा, हुआ बना रखा, इट्स नथिंग, इट्स सो सिंपल। एक कंसेप्ट क्लियर हुआ, खेल खत्म। ले आओ कोई भी क्वेश्चन ले आओ, सिंपल हो हार्ड हो, हार्ड कुछ होता ही नहीं, हम बनाते। सो दिस इज हाउ इट इज डन एंड दिस फिनिशेस योर चैप्टर सिंपल इंटरेस्ट। जम के क्वेश्चंस करिए, शीट आपको जो प्रोवाइड की जाएगी वो करिए, पिछले सालों के क्वेश्चंस करिए, पेपर्स में से करिए, बुक्स में से करिए, दुनिया जहान के क्वेश्चंस को खूब प्रैक्टिस कीजिए। फेस एनी प्रॉब्लम, आस्क मी, गिव अ कमेंट, आस्क ऑन व्हाट्सएप, आस्क ऑन फेसबुक, आस्क ऑन टेलीफोन, आस्क ऑन मेल, आस्क ऑन ऐप, जिस पे मर्जी पूछिए। जम के पढ़िए, जम के पूछिए, जितना पढ़ेंगे प्रैक्टिस करेंगे उतना परफेक्ट होगा। थैंक यू।